Hi, my name is Israel Bagashau. I'm an application scientist here at LI-COR, and in this video today I wanted to show a quick step-by-step on how to replace the internal filter on the LI-78 series trace gas analyzers for LI-COR. So we're going to do that, and I have the tools that we need, a screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and something small to separate the parts out. The parts that you need to replace the filter are included in the spares kit for the LI-7810, and generally we recommend replacing them once a year, but it will depend on the environment they're used in. If you're using them in a very dusty environment, that may require a replacement more frequently. A good indicator will be the cavity pressure and that control. If it's not able to pull air in and control pressure, that's an indication there's a blockage in the sampling line, and typically that will be the filter. So we're going to go ahead and do that and show how to do that in this video. When you're ready to replace the filter, we have two filters. So the one we're talking about is the user replaceable filter that's in this housing. So the first step is to power down the instrument completely. So 3 presses of the power button shuts down the instrument. And then you need to remove these 6 screws to remove the filter housing. As you can see, I've already removed the 6 screws and loosened the last one, the 5, and loosened the last one. And when you're removing them for the first time, you might feel a little bit of a resistance because there's a thread locking compound that's applied when they're installed. So once you remove this, the whole housing, including the fittings for the inlet and outlet, will come out together. Now, as you can see, the whole piece came out together, and there's an O-ring and filter support disc and the filter paper you can see in there. If you're doing this for the first time, or if it's been a long time since the last replacement, that O-ring and the filter support disc may be attached to the back of the filter housing here. So just be aware of that. So what you want to do is inspect the status of the O-ring here. And make sure it's still intact and not deformed or cut or cracked. If it is, you have a replacement O-ring that you can use to replace that. So I'm going to put this to the side for now. I'm going to use the forceps to remove the O-ring and the disc, support disc here. There we go. So again, check this O-ring, make sure it's intact, no cracks, no deformity. If it is, you can replace it. You have a spare O-ring right here for that as well. So here we are left with the filter paper here that you see, this white piece. So we're going to remove that. We're going to discard that and get a new filter paper. And one more piece of the filter assembly is another support disc on the back of that filter. So when we put our new filter, we need to first put the support disc in there. So in the spares kit, you have a filter replacement set of 5. This is the part number. The replacement looks slightly different because there's a separator, protective separator between the filters. That's the blue paper. So we're going to carefully take these out and get rid of the blue paper and use the filter. So you want to avoid touching it with your hands just to protect it from smudges. So that will be placed near the inlet by the support disc. The next step will be to put back the O-ring with the support disc like so, and make sure it's flush. And next step will be to put back the filter housing and the inlet block. And next step of the assembly will be to put back the 6 screws that hold the filter housing in place. So once you put the filter housing back and everything is reassembled, You would go ahead, turn the instrument on when you're done, and let it warm up, run for a few minutes. I would suggest running it without any additional inlet tubing or components to make sure the airflow through the new filter assembly, the housing, is going through properly, that the instrument is able to control the flow and the cavity pressure is stable. Once that's confirmed, you can go ahead and reconnect it to the sampling system that you have. And these need to be snug. They don't need to be super tight, but they do need to be snug. As always, if you have more questions or need information, you can go to our website or contact us. We also have the instruction manuals and other videos on our website, or you can contact your local distribution partner.